All right.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
You'll have to tell me more about the sinning part. That sounds interesting.
You youngsters are all the same. But work before pleasure. After we find Liechtenstein and free Cape Bon, we'll see.
I'll look forward to it. But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild, even for me.
That's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
Sounds like a nice place for a romantic evening, eh?
You'll find it in Hot Prink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So, goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I'll remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Cape on.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noblemen's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one.
Careful.
I apologize.
When we catch a fella cheating.
Is there a problem here?
Oh, good fellow, you're heaven sent. Help me. They want to kick the shit out of me.
Listen, you better stay out of this. This doesn't concern you, so be on your way.
You saw nothing, heard nothing. Now off with you.
What did he do? Did he steal something?
Worse again, he cheated at dice.
That's not true.
Don't lie, you fuck!
Leave him alone. Do you get a kick out of threatening him when he's grovelling on the ground? That's pathetic.
Cheating is pathetic.
And it's not the first time he's done it. Last time, he got away with it, but today, he's going to pay for it.
Oh, have some compassion. I could be a widower by morning.
What's wrong with your wife?
She's sick, deathly ill.
Don't believe him. He lies like a dog, this one.
What's wrong with your wife? Describe the symptoms.
She's got cramps and fits, nasty ones. And her fingers are turning grey. And her toes are even worse. One moment she's got the chills, the next she's boiling hot.
That sounds like St. Anthony's fire. Instead of playing dice in the tavern, you should be praying your wife survives.
Wait, you're nursing her at home?
And you're touching her?
Well, I have to. She's as frail as a petal.
Get away from me! You're gonna spread that vile plague!
Oh, quick! Let's get out of here before he touches any of us!
Let's go, before we catch something.
Yeah, by Christ. I just pray I don't come down.
I'll be right with you.
To make myself...
I'll be with you, sir.
I'd like something to eat.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you. Although the way you're kitted out, you seem like you might fit in here.
Here you go, just like you wanted.
I'll fit right in here. After all, I'm in the trade.
Funny, I ain't seen your mug before, though.
No, I ain't from this neck of the woods. I do business mostly out of Colleen, only the catchpoles there are on my heels. I done in this fucker what owed me a pile of glint. Only the bugger turns out to be the son of a councillor, so I needs to lay low for a bit, see? A mate of mine sent me to see Goatskin. Says he owes him from way back and he'd get me fixed up like.
One of ours from Colleen. Well, that's another story. Our doors is always open to you fellas. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here.
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No. But there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd. Seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word. But I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. He don't stray far when he's on the job. Usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks. So I try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth. But you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
Why didn't you defend Goatskin? Isn't he one of you?
He is and he ain't. I'm no saint, but that Goatskin stepped in some nasty shit and then walked it in our door and all. I ain't saying we don't look out for each other, but there's limits, innit?
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner, and then there's the Big Bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
I'll stop by later and we'll see what comes of it.
Grand.
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Thanks for the herbal brew you sent me. My shoulder's feeling a lot better.
Ladies and women of virtue, gather round and listen. I have to warn you about the greatest evil and danger on
I do the best I can. I'm glad to hear it. Well, when I... What do you want?
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Do I know him? That fucker is the bane of our lives. Why are you even looking for an idiot like him?
He knows some things that I'd like to know too.
What would he know? A mangy vagabond?
Do you know where he might be?
How should I know? If I knew, I'd have told Adam long ago. He'd wring the bastard's neck in a trice. Last week alone, he robbed 3 of our customers. All German.
Why does he choose to rob Germans?
A German merchant always has more coin in his purse than a Czech one. Haven't you noticed that?
Could you tell me where exactly he robbed the customers?
Hard to say. You know how it is. Drunken merry gents who can hardly walk. But it usually happens somewhere near the Black Horse, and in those lanes there. The bastard stays clear of the main streets. For good reason.
Have you got any German customers here now?
What do you think? No, because words got round. Except Udo. He couldn't care less, it seems.
And is Udo here now?
No, it's too early for him. He usually comes later in the evening. I reckon he only comes here when other alehouses kick him out.
Thanks. I'll be going.
You're welcome. And have a word with Adam if you really want to find your goat skin. He's the owner. I reckon he'd be keen to find him too.
I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Greetings, sir. What would you like?
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. I heard he sometimes comes here.
Aye, he turns up now and again. The louse. The bastard's ruining my business. 2 of my customers refused to come here again after he robbed them one night.
That's not very nice. And you wouldn't have some idea where I might find Goatskin, would you? I reckon it'd suit you if he packed it in.
You bet it would. But if I knew where to find him, I'd wring his neck myself. That bitch Mary's bound to know, though. She denies it, but we all know she's walking out with him.
I thought you bathhouse girls stuck together. What have you got against Mary?
There's a limit to everything. As soon as you mess with someone's livelihood, you ain't no sister to anyone. She can marry that cripple for all I care, but when he robs our guests and ruins our reputation, she should grab him by the balls herself and... Oh, never mind.
Is that all you know about Goatskin?
Ain't that enough for you? I'm not here to know stuff, in case you hadn't realised.
Thanks then. I'll be off.
If you find him, give him a slap from me.
fair maidens and women of virtue, gather round and listen. I have to warn you about about the greatest evil.
Schönen Tag. Was willst du, mein Herr?
I'm looking for someone called Goatskin, and the innkeeper said you want to find him too.
You're damn right I do. That lousy bastard robs my customers. Deutschers mostly. And they're the very ones that pay best. What's worse, word's got around already. If you get hold of him, well, there's something I'd like to sort out with him.
Sort out? That could mean lots of things.
Nothing nasty, don't worry. Besides the Germans. Goatskin also robbed a scholar from Prague. Jan Schindel he's called. And I reckon he has friends in high places, because he went straight to the city council. Not good for business.
How will it help you if I find Goatskin?
Schindel complained to the council mainly because Goatskin nicked some scholarly stuff of his. He's one of them fanatic crackpots. So if you tracked down his things and returned them to him, he might drop his complaint.
I'll see if I can find his things.
Great. If you find anything, take it straight to Schindel. He lives in the house of Vetter the scribe. And don't forget to tell him I sent you.
Right you are. Now, about that Goatskin.
What do you want to know?
Do you know where to find him?
Not the faintest idea. If I knew, we wouldn't be having this chat. I asked at the Black Horse. Dirty miners, right riffraff, that lot.
What did they tell you?
They claimed not to know anything, but they couldn't stop smirking, bastards.
You wouldn't happen to have a German customer here now, would you?
I reckon not. But I'm not sure. Ask the girls. Just please, don't interrogate my guests, all right?
I'll go and look somewhere else now.
Aye. If you do find him, watch out. He may look like a half-wit, but he's a right slippery snake.
Right.
Leb wohl, mein Herr.
What they want you to think. They're the ones claiming it is scripture.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I'm looking for Goatskin. Do you know him?
Nay, you're a good-looking fella. What would I want with some goat skin when I've got a handsome young buck right here in front of me? I couldn't care less about your goat skin.
But I do. And the girls here tell me you know him quite well.
So, you're not here to have a good time. Shame. I know Goatskin, but don't expect me to tell you anything. He's lying low, and for good reason. You ain't the first to come looking for him.
You say people have been coming asking questions about him?
Aye, like you.
And apart from me?
I dunno. There was a miller from Drachlitz, and some Jews. That was pretty odd. They usually avoid brothels like the devil avoids, well, crosses or whatever, you know?
Why? It does sound peculiar. Why is he hiding? Who from?
How should I know? He's never far from trouble. Goes with his trade, doesn't it?
Where is he hiding?
I don't know. And even if I did, I don't see why I should tell you. That's why he's hiding. So strangers like you don't find him.
Look, I'll find him either way. I found slippier bastards than that Goatskin of yours. And if I'm in a good mood when I find him, I might not even hurt him. But if you keep making it difficult for me, I'm gonna lose my patience. And then it's gonna get nasty. For both you and Goatskin. So what'll it be?
Jesus. What did that fella get me mixed up in this time? Calm down, dearie. You don't have to start throwing threats around.
Do you find me threatening?
Quite a bit. And I've seen a thing or two in this job.
I'll take that as a compliment. Come on then, spill it. Where's Goatskin?
There's a yard behind the bathhouse leading to a side alley. Right next to it is the Black Horse Tavern. And at the opposite end, you'll see a barn behind a wall. There's a funny little window at the top. That's where.
I'll look for it.
Please don't hurt him, though. He's not bad, just a bit peculiar.
We'll see.
Care, sir. I apologise.
Was für Bier gibt's hier?
Poor defenseless women, fair maidens, protect your innocence. Run to the nunnery and
Christ, pardon me.
A fountain? Where does the water come from? Here, in the middle of the city.
Then so does half the town.
Careful.
But wait,
Well, well. Look who we have here. You must be Goatskin, eh?
What? What are you doing here?
What do you think? Looking for you.
But I'm hiding. I shouldn't be talking to anyone.
But I found you. So you're not hidden anymore. I have a couple of questions for you.
Look, I didn't. I never told nobody. Nobody. I swear. I'll even swear to Samuel and his God if he wants.
Who the hell is Samuel?
You weren't sent by Sam.
I wouldn't be asking you if I was, would I?
You know, like, I promise not to talk about it no more. They'll kill me otherwise.
I get that. But do you think they'll just forget about it? How long do you intend to hide?
Until I have enough. You know, glint to take off.
Well, I could help you with that. I know a lot of people. Getting you out of town won't be a problem. If you help me, I'll help you.
That sounds, you know, promising. But I still need coin. I can't just pack up and take off.
Coin shouldn't be a problem. I'm starting to lose patience. I don't know these mysterious folks you're afraid of, but I'm here and they aren't. So if there's anyone you should be afraid of, it's me. Know what I mean?
I understand.
Good.
What is it you, like, want to know, like?
I heard you were spying for some nobleman. Is that true?
I was doing nothing but, you know, like, I was spying for 2 weeks.
Who is this Samuel you're so afraid of?
He just hired me. He's one of them lot. You know, them Jews, innit? He was nice to me till I started blabbering.
Do you know where I could find this Samuel?
Go to that, you know, synagogue. He hangs around it in front of it and people, like, brings him news of what's on the grapevine, you know. And evenings he sits around at the King Solomon. It's like a, you know, a Jewish tavern. But watch out. They ain't too welcoming towards our people there.
And there's another thing. Those things you stole from that scholar? You know what I mean?
That... What about it, like?
What happened to them? The owner wants them back.
I still have them.
Where?
In them secret, you know, tunnels under the city.
Tunnels? Secret passageways? Stop blethering and tell me where it is.
I ain't blathering. It's in the passageways beneath the city. I can find it. I've learnt the way. And if you give me a couple of groschen, I can teach you too. You can clear out my stash, and judging by the look of you, knowing your way round, you know, underground-like, that ought to come in handy for you, innit?
Look, Goatskin, just because I was nice to you once, doesn't mean you can fuck with me now. Tell me what you know right this instant, or I'm gonna lose my temper.
Well, no need to fly off the handle, like... I'll tell you, of course. I was just thinking...
Goatskin, spit it out!
Oh, all right. It's like this. I know them passageways because I got my hands on this map, like. This old thief gave it to me. And when I, you know, got it in my head, like, I flogged it, see?
A treasure map? You're yanking my pizzle, aren't you?
No. I swear, on my Mars soul. It ain't a treasure map, it's a map of what's below ground.
Big difference. Where's this map, then?
I flogged it to this thief. Angel, he called himself.
Called himself? So this angel is back in heaven now, is he?
Aye. He was hanged outside the city walls. He's still swinging there. And I know he had that map sewn into his coat. It were his most prized possession. But watch out. The gallows is guarded to stop quacks cutting off the dead bodies, bits and pieces, fingers and that, like.
Thanks. You've been a great help.
That's me through and through, innit? I'd better be off, like. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
Off you go. Goatskin, there's another thing. What about those things you stole from that scholar? You know what I mean?
God be with you, my friend. Well, good
Excuse
day.
me.
Greetings. Sir?
Slowly. Nice and slow.
Come and take your pick. You where?
Are you blind? You almost ran into me.
Ow! Don't you see me?
Good day.
Good day. Don't you know how to keep your horse under control? You almost ran me over.
Careful.
With these prices. If you want to... Kommen wir, Freund. How can I help you?
Show me.
Are they out of the bloody mines? They have two collections just like it.
Well, did you...
God be with you.
Sholem, are you lost? Or what would a goy want here?
What do you think goy means?
It means you do not belong here.
It means nation in Hebrew. So you're just as much a goy as I am.
Good one. A goy lecturing a Jew on Hebrew. All right. But I suggest you do not repeat it around these parts. Not everyone is as tolerant as I. So, what do you want?
I'm looking for someone called Samuel.
What do you want with him?
Is that you?
There are many Samuels here. And if I'm not good enough for you, I'm afraid nobody else will talk to you.
All right. I'm looking for John of Liechtenstein. I heard you, or this Samuel, might know something about him.
I'm sure Samuel knows a lot. But I do not see why he should tell you.
It isn't just anyone looking for Liechtenstein. It'd be better for Samuel to say what he knows, if he doesn't want any unnecessary trouble.
I do not care who sent you. You will not impress me like that. We play by my rules here.
So how can I impress you?
Impressions are worth nothing. I'm only of interest to you Goyim when you need something. To you, I'm just a dirty Jew.
All right. What do you suggest?
An exchange. Something in return. I have this one problem none of my people can fix. You probably know that my people face outbreaks of hatred from time to time. A house is plundered, people beaten up, sometimes murdered. Usually it is started by some scum spreading rumors that we eat Christian babies or poison wells. They always find some excuse. I have heard that such people are meeting in an old abandoned house by the wall in the mining district. I need someone to get among them, find out what they are planning, and warn us in good time.
All right. I'll do it. And then you'll tell me all about Liechtenstein.
Agreed. They usually meet at the start of the day.
At the start of the day according to my calendar, or yours?
I see you're in the know. At the start of my day, so when the first 3 stars come out.
Right, so they meet after sunset. The miners' district, an abandoned house with a small yard by the ramparts.
That's right. I reckon you can still catch up with them there today, if you get them to let you join them. Try and find out what they're planning, and then come and see me, and you'll have fulfilled your side of the deal.
You'll keep your end of the deal, I hope.
Don't worry. I keep my promises. Well, did you see anything?
Turned up. Doors and windows shut. I couldn't see inside. And that guy who's fixing to build opposite once more.
Hey! Hey! Open up! Open up!
Underworld, what are you doing, Moishe?
Food's a capora, piece of junk. Never mind. We'll cut this shit down.
Sprich deine Gebete, Arschloch!
I feel quite hungry!
Come on, then.
Wait, wait! Don't kill him! You're gonna beg for mercy? After this?
We can make a deal. We have some of your people, we can exchange them.
Our people? What the hell are you talking about?
We caught some of them yesterday, trying to get to Liechtenstein, just like you.
No, I'm after Liechtenstein because I need to talk to him. Not his enemy. But if you know where he is, you better take me to him. Right now.
I have my orders. I'm not supposed to let anyone near him. Especially not someone who just beat my 2 best men. I'm not a fool.
right. I'll go unarmed, if that'll convince you.
I'll trust you. But in return, you have to trust me. You can't see where we're going.
All right. But no tricks.
Those are the rules.
Wait, who is that somewhere?
We will soon find out. Let us in.
Wenches or the neighbor's daughter, any dirt you can dig up. Off you go! Oh, who have you brought now, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure. But he says he knows you, and absolutely insisted he had to talk to you.
Ah. Of course. Henry. Lord Capon of Perkstein's page. We met on my visit to Rattay. He's all right.
Lord Capon's escort and bodyguard.
Quite. Quite. But tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that's quite a long story, sir.
Well, I've got plenty of time, and actually I enjoy long stories. You know why? Because they demand a lot of wine. Please, take a seat and tell me everything.
If I'm not mistaken, Jobst sent you to von Berkhoff with a message. How did that go?
In a word, badly.
Oh, how's that?
I hardly know where to start. I'm lucky to be alive. In any case, neither von Berghoff nor the League of Lords are planning to join Jobst.
Good God! I need a drink now. But did you manage to deliver the message in the end?
We did.
And? What was von Berkhoff's reaction?
That bastard first used us, and then wanted to get rid of us. We only just avoided being killed.
Sacre. So there's no chance the League of Lords will turn against Sigismund?
No chance. On the contrary, von Berghoff and von Aulitz came here to Kuttenberg to be at Sigismund's beck and call.
Christ. And what are you doing here, actually?
I came here with a man called Zizka.
Zizka? Jan Zizka of Trotznov?
You know him?
Of course I do. Zizka is in the service of Prokop of Luxembourg, King Wenceslas's cousin.
Aye, we found that out as well. What was strange was that his band was infiltrated by Istvan Toth, if you remember.
That rat from Talmberg. What was he doing there?
It turned out he was spying for von Berghoff. But he didn't do a great job, fortunately. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I am starting to get confused.
That makes two of us. Maybe we'll understand better if we get drunk.
You're not holding back, I see. Your health, then. After Zizka took us prisoner, it finally became clear we were on the same side, and Istvan had to flee.
So the fucker's still alive?
Not any longer.
You? Well done. Let's drink to that.
To our enemy's death.
Ah.
Just when we thought we were out of the woods and Istvan was gone, he appeared outside the walls of Nabokov again, with von Berghoff and Markvart von Aulitz. Von Aulitz was on his way to Kuttenberg with reinforcements for Sigismund. And with the finger of God.
With the what?
A bombard.
Good lord!
Have you ever seen one? I hadn't, until they used it against us.
I've heard about the bombard. An infernal weapon. Then what?
We didn't have a chance. They blew the tower to pieces and took us all prisoner. They took us to Trotsky and tortured us. But with the help of a woman who works with Zizka, we managed to escape.
Zizka. That man always has a trick or two in reserve.
Thank God. While we were making our escape, I crossed paths with Toth, and finally took my revenge for everything he did.
Dull moment with you, I see. To happy endings, then. And where is Lord Capon? Or should I call him the Prince of Poachers?
Well, the most fitting thing to call him would be hostage, because that's what he is now.
A hostage?
That's right. Von Berghoff took him with him. And that's why I'm here, in fact.
Your original plan went badly awry, I must say.
Well, it could have been worse.
That's the way of the world. For my part, I'm forced into hiding, as you've probably noticed. They're after me as if I owed taxes. Ah, if only I knew what Jobst would say.
I know exactly what he'd say as it happens.
You do?
I spoke to Jobst just after we arrived at Suchdal. He expressly forbade me to look for you, or try to rescue Capon.
That damned... Did he say why?
Aye. He said you can look after yourself. And as a nobleman, Capon has nothing to fear in captivity.
Ah, Jobst.
If we cause trouble for Sigismund, it could threaten his plans, he said. That's cowardice, if you ask me.
It's true I can take care of myself, but the old schemer could at least have warned me, whatever his plans might be.
Zizka sees Jobst as a pain in the arse, too. I mean, he's not fond of him. And he doesn't approve of his plan.
Then I expect he and I will see eye to eye. Although I prefer a different strategy to braining all and sundry with a mace. Even so, what brings you to me? You didn't take this risk just to tell me what Jobst is like, or that I should carry on with what I'm doing.
No. My first concern is to rescue Lord Capon, whatever schemes Jobst is dreaming up.
And then...
And also, it's about your safety.
My safety?
Well, you know how I said we were tortured? Well, they asked about you as well. That is, Istvan asked. And with the torturer there, it was hard. In the end, we told them where you were.
Where I am? In this city, you mean? That's not such a terrible betrayal. Kuttenberg is a big city. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Not that they have not tried. They almost caught you a couple of times. If it were not for my people.
That's true, of course. But I'm not going to bear a grudge. The executioner always gets what he wants. And if he hadn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
I apologize.
No need. It's not your fault. Nevertheless, let's turn the page. Capon. How do you plan to free him?
That's exactly why I came to see you.
Oh, how's that?
Because you know how to do it. Don't you?
You have a lot of confidence in me.
Well, I don't have many options. Well then, am I right?
Sigismund confiscated the property of some burghers and noblemen in the city when they opposed him, and he divided the property up between his loyal followers. He seized Malashov Fortress from the Rutards, for instance. And didn't you say, Sam, that he gifted it to von Berkhoff?
Yes, that is so.
That was before von Berkhoff was in these parts. But if he's here now, where else would he be but in Malashov? And if von Berkhoff is there...
That's where his captive will be.
Correct. Capon is at Malashov Fortress.
Well, that's fucked then. How the hell 3 of us conquer a fortress, and one of us a woman?
That's a conquest I'd like to see. It would go down in history.
The history of suicidal madness.
You can't just launch an assault on Malashov. It's a strong fortress. We'll need a cunning plan.
Or long ladders and lots of men. That could be arranged, maybe.
Careful! Jobst ordered us not to stir up trouble. And this would be serious trouble. But if Capon simply vanished...
Vanished how, exactly?
I don't know yet. But like I said, Malashov belonged to the Rutards. And I'm sure they're not keen on the new tenant. I think if you pay a visit to Sir Kunslin Rutard and convince him you have common interests, he'll be happy to think up a solution with you.
Like what?
Who knows? Perhaps Lord Rutard knows of a back door into his old home, and he might not be averse to an arrangement with someone who'll help him take revenge.
Someone like you.
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But it's the best we've got, and there's no harm in trying. Where can I find this Kunslin?
Sigismund seized his fortress, but, surprisingly, he let him keep his palace in the city. It's right next to the Italian court.
All right. I'll give it a go.
Once you have some news, you know where to find me. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
Come to think of it, I've no idea where we actually are.
Of course. I'd forgotten how you got here.
We're in the Jewish quarter, in the basement of the King Solomon Tavern, below my tavern. Goyim do not just wander in here, but I will tell my people you are with us.
Thanks a whole lot. All right, I'll set off now.
Good luck. It was good to see you again, Henry. And be careful. There's bound to be spies swarming around the palace. This city isn't safe.
Tell me about it. Danger is my daily bread these days.